Hey guys, welcome to Bastian time. This is This Week in Zelda News. I'm your host Bastian. Let's get to that first. So first up is an EP. It's basically guitar covers of several songs from Majora's Mask. It's a lot when a lot of people think of guitar covers. They sort of usually think of like metal covers or whatever, but that's not the case in this instance. It's more alternative rock style, and it is really good, actually. We've seen a lot of these kinds of things, and this one's actually pretty darn good. So definitely be sure to check out the video. There'll be a link for you down below. Our next story is an amazing piece of fan art. This is, we've seen Zelda fans do all kinds of creative things to show their love for the series. I've never seen anything like this before. It's a terrarium of Deku Link with actual real-life growing flowers, which ties into the whole Deku aspect. It's just amazing. I would love to have something like this, but I definitely don't have the skills to try to do something like this, so kudos to that Zelda fan. Our next story is over on the Game Station's YouTube channel. They do these things that are trivia shows where at the end of they'll ask you a question, and then there'll be 3 clickable answers, and then you can click on one. That will take you to the next video, which will tell you whether you were right or wrong, and then that will direct you to the next question, and so on. An ingenious idea. This time they've done Ocarina time, so there are even 3 different modes. I actually went through all 3, the easy, medium, and hard. The funny thing is, there was actually one question, I can't remember if it was on medium or easy, that I got totally wrong, and I felt like it's kind of debatable. But and then there's a question in the hard that's just like, nobody would have that memorized. You could only randomly guess as far as that answer goes. So whether or not I agree with the validity of the questions is another story. It was a lot of fun. Definitely check it out. There's a link for you down below. Then our next story is an amazing quilt. Just look at this thing. It's a link to the past. It's got all of the various items and locations, all done as little square pieces of cloth, like pixels. Actually the quilt is an amazing way to sort of replicate pixel arts, and this quilt artist did an amazing job. She actually is selling these. They're quite spendy, I think like $250 or thereabouts, but may just be worth it because it's amazing. By now, you have certainly seen this amazing video. It comes from Read Only Memory, which is basically an artist. That's the name that he's using. And what he did is he created not a parody, not a joke video, but just an actual video of what it would be like if the original Legend of Zelda had a cartoon. Now, of course, the original Legend of Zelda did have a cartoon, but let's forget about that and focus on this, which really, truly feels like this is what Nintendo would have actually done had they had more creative control and such. And I wish that this was a whole series. I would love to watch something like this. It just perfectly replicates the Zelda, the original Legend of Zelda vibe. I loved it. I hope that this artist does more. The artist is actually somebody that you're probably already familiar with if you've seen the infamous Pizza Links video, which had a bunch of links from various games, the Wind Waker Link, Twilight Princess Link, Cartoon Link, and even the CDI Link, all sitting around eating pizza together. And anyways, that's an amusing, silly video. This is an amazing, heartfelt video. You gotta watch it. Link for you down below. Our next story is an amusing piece of Zelda trivia, and that's the fact that the sign in Majora's Mask for Romani's Ranch, actually, the sign translates into "Welcome to Kakariko Village." And that's because when making Majora's Mask, they simply reused, of course, reused all of the graphics from Ocarina of Time, so they just took the whole graphic asset of the Welcome to Kakariko Village big wooden structure thing and plopped that down in front of Romani Ranch. That's the way it translates. Of course, you'll know that it turns out that actually Ocarina of Time's version of Hylian translates into Japanese, and so you can translate basically all of the Hylian text in Ocarina into Japanese, and then from the Japanese into English. But anyways, now we know. Romani Ranch is Kakariko Village. Then our final story is the long overdue Zelda Classic 2.5 is finally out. Now, for those not familiar with Zelda Classic, it's an amazing program that I actually used. I started using it back in its 1.65 or something like that iteration, and then I stopped using it at around its 2.10. Which I guess is the only 2.10 was the most recent before the 2.5. But anyways, what it is an individual went ahead and sort of tried to recreate basically Zelda 1's programming and created an editable sort of program so that you could use this program to create Zelda 1 style games. Now, very specifically Zelda 1 style. So all of its quirks and nuances. Over the years, Zelda Classic has sort of grown up. They've put more and more stuff into it to sort of bring it closer to a more modern era top-down Zelda-style games like Link to the Past and so on. But really, it is pretty much a Zelda 1 engine. So anyways, 2.5 really brings a whole lot of new things to the table. Things like edible enemies, which was not really possible before. You were stuck with the Zelda 1 enemies, basically, and things along those lines. So I can't wait to get my hands on it. I actually, truth be told, I created quite a few Zelda 1 style games with Zelda Classic back in the day, none of which were really all that good, to be honest with you. I created a third quest, just like basically everybody does who gets their hands on Zelda Classic, because, you've got all the tools right there. What I did is I tried to make it tried to follow all of the rules presented in the second quest of Legend of Zelda. So things like only minorly tweaking the overworld, changing the dungeon locations, of course brand new dungeons and things like that. Maybe I'll make that available. I don't know if you can actually play old iterations of Zelda Classic games on the new 2.5, but I did a lot of things. I created a version of Zelda 2, The Adventure of Link, in the style of Zelda 1. But basically, the limitation of only being able to use the Zelda 1 enemies made me not want to release it, because it just felt kind of odd to not have the Thunderbird in there and things like that. So, I don't know, maybe now I'll actually be able to make that dream a reality, but actually probably by now somebody's already done that. But anyways, if you want to check out Zelda Classic 2.5, there's a link for you down below. So finally, I'd just like to give some quick shout-outs to everybody who contributed to the HD Cam Fund for Bastian Time. I thank you guys so much. You made it happen. I've now got enough funds to go ahead and procure a new cam in HD. So yeah, I know that YouTube lately has been claiming that these videos have been in 720, but I mean, you can probably tell that the quality really isn't 720. It's just that the cam has been filming everything at 480, but then when I export it, it stretches it up to 720, but it's still bad quality, still only at 15 frames per second, so sorry about that. But thanks to Sven R, Legendary Smith, Corey W, Rico D, Jeremy J, Sebastian M, Melvin H, and Marco H, We're going to be getting a new HD cam to make these videos all that much more nice. So again, thanks to everybody who contributed, and I'll see you in HD. So that's it for this week in Zelda news. Tomorrow, of course, is This Week in Nintendo news. I've got a question for you guys, though. There's always some confusion about the This Week in videos. It seems like every single week there's at least one comment from somebody who says, wait a minute, why are you reposting the same video twice? And so I don't think it's possible to make it crystal clear exactly that the This Week in videos are those two earlier videos, so I think that's always going to cause confusion. So it seems like I've got to get rid of one or the other. So what do you think? Do you think I should get rid of the This Week in videos, or should I get rid of the two smaller videos that occur earlier in the week that are what I shoved together to make the This Week in videos? So let me know what you think. I'll see you guys tomorrow for This Week in Nintendo News. Bye.